So um, this is the I'll be doing November 2024 Maths B paper 1, and this is like kind of like my first time doing it, and this is very well my own paper in which I sat in the exam. And in the paper 1 I think I got around 89, and in the paper 2 I got 94. So yeah, I do have a pretty good idea about what the paper is about and where I fluctuated, and in these areas I'm gonna tell you exactly where to improve. So let me start. So this first question is pretty easy, and it's about what, only 2 marks, and this is basically just what, just a um, you know taking common type of things. I don't know the word for these. I think it's LCM or something. Yeah, sorry for that. So yeah. So for at first I took the 7 common and the B common because I can clearly see that um, they are clearly divisible by 7 and B. So yeah, that's how we are supposed to do. Going on to the next question, this is the part where I faltered. And yeah, you need to have these pretty well, you have to practice this a lot so that even in your exam you can smash it. So basically, they're telling me to shade one more square to make a pattern with rotational symmetry of order 2. 1 minute, I'm gonna be back. So, at first, you're supposed to shade the order of rotation of order 2. So basically your shape will rotate twice, and you're like twice like 180 degrees, and you will still get the the same results. I mean that if you rotate it twice, you're gonna get the same, square, and we have to find the square which will give me the result. So um, as far as I can see, if I am like to rotate, I don't have any. I don't have anything to rotate it. So I'm just gonna what? Guess. All right. All right. So first thing is, I have the first shaded square in the fourth side, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rotate it in my head, and after rotating, I can see that if I shade this one, the it aligns. Yeah. I'm sorry I can't show you why it aligns, but yeah, if you like rotate it twice, how can I even rotate it? I don't know how to rotate it. I'm sorry, extremely sorry for that. And for the next one, sorry, for the next one, here is a different pattern made from white squares and shaded squares. Shade one more square to make a pattern with exactly one line of symmetry. So I'm supposed to, draw um, a line, and it's supposed to give me one line of symmetry. So basically, the main mistake I made in my exam was I thought it was like a four-sided square, but it's actually a five-sided square. So you need to keep that in mind. And here, what I can see is that when I am doing this, I can see that there is this one is gonna go here, right? And this one is gonna come here. This one is gonna come here, and yeah, and this one came here. So overall, I think that's why this is the answer. Hope you understood. I'm sorry for the bad explanations, guys. And then question 3, using ruler and compasses only, showing all your construction lines, construct the perpendicular bisector of AB. So here what we are supposed to do is put the compass needle over here, and we're supposed to draw an arc, and using the same compass and the same radii, you're supposed to draw another arc, and we will have a line that intersects here. So let me just draw a line. Shapes, and I'm gonna just draw a line, and this will be equidistant from A to B. Moving on. The bearing of port A from port B is 276. Find the bearing of port B from port A. So in my real exam, I didn't have time to think, so what I did was I used reverse bearing, and that is, if the theta is greater than 180 degree, you will subtract 180 degree, and if the theta is less than 180 degree, you will plus 180 degree. That's a very shortcut, and it works every time. Trust me, guys. Yeah, so it's gonna be 096 degrees. Make sure to put this also in bearing. So then they asked me to solve this, so I'm just gonna solve it over here. And 3 by 7x is equal to 18. And I'm gonna use a calculator to find the answer. So, 1 second. Alright, so x comes to be 42, so I'm just gonna put this. Moving on. A is equal to 2 to the power x times 3 squared times 7 to the power 4. B is equal to 2 squared times 3 to the power 5 times 5 times 7 to the power y. Now, given that x is greater than 2 and y is greater than 4, we have to find the HCF of A and B. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, we know that x is greater than 2, so we can just, what is HCF? HCF is taking the highest common factor. That means that you're gonna take the, the highest common factor that can go with both. So since x is greater than 2, the power here, so you can take 2 squared, and y to the power, y is greater than 4, so we are gonna take 4 here, and then we have 3 squared. You can take 3 squared here, and this will come up to be some sort of value which is gonna give us the correct answer. This comes up to be 86436. 86436. Sorry. Alright. A biased dice has 6 faces numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The table shows information about the probability that when the dice is thrown, it will land on each of the numbers. The dice is thrown 300 times. Calculate the expected times the dice will land on a number greater than 3. So what we are supposed to do is, they have given us that 300 times he's gonna do this, and we will multiply it with the number that is greater than 3. What is greater than 3? 4, 5, and 6. 0.03 plus 0.32 plus 0.07 is gonna give me the answer. Which is 126. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Moving on. We have 3 kgs of onions that cost 1.71 pounds. 2 kilograms of onions and 5 kilograms, 2 kilograms of onions and 5 kilograms of potatoes that cost 5.34. And we have to calculate the total cost of 3 kilograms of onions and 4 kilograms of potatoes. Alright, that's pretty simple. What we're gonna do is, we know that 3 kilograms is 1.71 pounds. So 1 kilograms is 1.71 divided by 3. Now, what we can do is, since we know that 2 kilograms of onions and 5 kilograms of potatoes cost 5.34 pounds. So let me just write it down. 2 kilograms of onions plus 5 kilograms of potatoes. Now this is gonna be 2 times 1.71 divided by 3 plus 5 kilograms of potatoes. I'm gonna consider 5, then the cost of potatoes to be x. Let cost of potatoes to be x, and I'm gonna equate it with 5.34 pounds. In the end, I'll get x. I'll subject it and find x. So the x value, which is the kilogram per kilogram of potatoes, I've got 0.84 pounds. So with this new information, what we can do is we can calculate the, we already know that it's 3 kilograms equate 1.71 pounds for an onion. So we're gonna just plus it with 4 times the kilograms that we found, and we're just gonna equate it. Okay, answer comes up to be 5.07 pounds. So 5.07 pounds. Alright, next we have a solid cuboid of calculate the total surface area. Acha, so we will calculate the total surface area. So first we're just gonna, what do we know? This is the front is 12 times 6, back is what, same, front and back same, so 2 front. What I'm gonna do is 2 front plus 2 front and back. 2 means that front and back plus this is the sideways, 2 sideways, and the 2 upper parts. So I'm just gonna times it with so 2 times 12 times 6 will be my first. Let me just put it over here and just continue on writing it. So 2 times 12 times 6 plus the 5.5 times 6 plus 2 times the upper parts, which is 12 times 5.5. Alright, so after solving it, it comes up to be which comes up to be 342. Alright, moving on. 342 centimeters square. Alright, next coming up is what? Some inequality type of thing. Basically drawing lines and stuff. The straight line L1 is drawn on the grid. The straight line L2 is parallel to L1 and passes through the point this. Find an equation for L2. So we need to find an equation for L2. What we know that L1 passes through this point. So with this point, well, we can just find the gradient of L1 using 2 points. Let me select some 2 points. I select these, and I'm gonna find that since L2 is parallel, so the gradient is gonna be same. So I'm just gonna be trying to find the gradient, and this is 0, 1. I'm sorry, that's opposite. 1, 0. This is 1, 0, and this point is 3, 4. And then we can find the gradient using these lines. Just gonna copy it over here, and just place it. So gradient is equal to y2 the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, the y2, I'll just consider 0 to be the y2 and this to be the y1 divided by x2, which is 1 minus 3. This comes up to be I'm sorry, did I make any mistake? 0 minus 4, then 1 minus 3. No, didn't make any mistake. So, yeah, should be good to go. Wait, let me see. This graph is a downward sloping graph. So the gradient is supposed to be negative, right? So, negative, positive. 0 minus 4, 1 minus 3. Yeah, what's wrong? I think everything's right. Comes up to be 2. Now, since I have found the gradient to be 2, I'm gonna take this point, 9 comma minus 12, and just put it on my equation. Since I know they're parallel, the gradient is gonna be the same, and I'm gonna get my values. So y is equal to twice x plus 18 plus 12. Y is equal to twice x plus 30. This is gonna be my answer. My bad, guys, it was actually minus 4 and I mistakenly took minus 4, which is why this is gonna be plus 4 and this will come up to be minus 2. This will come up to be minus 2. And yeah, minus twice x minus 18 plus 12. Y is equal to minus twice x minus 6. Now, this is gonna be my equation for the second line, L2. Alright? Next one is we need to calculate this divided by this, give your answer in standard form. Alright. So, in standard form, this is gonna be what? Sorry. 114 divided by means 1 by 4.6 times 10 to the power 117. Okay, minus, I suppose, since it's in the division bracket, right? So now what I'm gonna do is 2.3 divided by 4.6 times 10 to the power 114 minus 117. Now this leads me to getting half times 10 to the power minus 3. Now I can convert it to 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 for the correct answer. Or you can just leave it as here. No, you can't actually leave like this. You need to, times it by 10 and put the minus 1 over there as well. And you have to give into 5. You can't keep this in half because in standard form you need to I think has to be something like this. It has to be greater than 1 but less than 9, and yeah, that's why you can't keep it like this. You have to keep the answer like this. Alright, guys? Alright, moving on. Alright, this is a ratio math. Alright, so at first we have AB is equal to 2:5. Okay, we know A is to D is 3:8. Then we know B is to C is 9:11. Now they are telling me to find C is to D. Alright, so at first I'm gonna times it by 6, times all of them by 6, and try to find. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just gonna do an LCM, right, with 2 and 3. because they're the common factors. We're supposed to find the LCM and then just times the LCM by this. Okay, moving on, we get A is to B is 12 is to 30, and then B is to C is 54 is to 66. Then A is to D is 18 is to 44. Now what I can do is I can times it by 1.5, and what I can do next is times it by 5 by 6. What this will do is basically it will give me in the form I want, which is 18 is to 45, and this is 45 is to 55, and this is gonna be 18 is to 48. Look, A is to what my A is to B ratio matched up. Sorry, A is to A matched up, which means my B is this ratio 45. Sorry. And then my next ratio, which is B is to C also matched up. B is 45 and my C is 55. And A is to D is 48. So my ratio for C is to D is gonna be 55 is to 48. Yeah. 5 is to 48. Alright. I'll try to explain again in brief what I just did. So basically I basically multiplied it with 6 since I did LCM over here. And then what I did was I then multiplied it with by 3 by 2 and 5 by 6 over here, because I saw that if I multiply it with 1.5 I will get 18 is to 45, and if I times it by 5 by 6 I will get 45 is to 55, which will give me the desired ones. I just wanted to match this up, this A with this and this B with this. Hopefully you understood. Moving on. The diagram shows a quadrilateral ABCD where BC are on horizontal ground and BA and CD are vertical. The angle of elevation of D from A is 32 degrees. Look, angle of elevation is this, right? So what I'm gonna do is try to sketch this, and just this is 32. The elevation from A to D of D from A is 32, and this is gonna be 12.2 because they're parallel and they're the same. And this, what I'm gonna consider this length to be is X. What I'm gonna do next is tan 32 is equal to X over 12.2, opposite over adjacent. X is equal to 12.2 tan 32. This will give me the length of this. I already know the length of this as 1.7 over here, and this comes up to be 7.62. And the next thing I'm gonna do is to find CD, which is, as I can see, 1.7 plus X. So I'm just gonna do that. 7.62 plus 1.7. Alright. This is 9.32. And since they told me to keep it to 3 significant figures, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. Alright. 9.32. Then I'm supposed to find a single fraction in its simplest form. Alright. Next, what I'm gonna do is expand it. Divided by 7 minus 4x minus 10 divided by 4. I'm gonna multiply, cross multiply. This goes here, this goes here. 4 times 5x minus 5 minus 4x, sorry, minus actually 7 plus 7 minus 4x minus 10 divided by 7 times 4. Alright, so 4 times 5 is 20x minus 20 plus minus 28x minus 70 divided by 28. At the end, what I get is I'll just 20x minus 8x minus 8x and minus 90 over 20 . Yeah, and to put it in the simplest form, what I'll do is cut these again. Let me just use lasso now. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so noob at this. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so noob at this. Alright. Yeah. So, minus 70 and divided by 28, and yeah, we're good to go. Now, so what I'll get is minus 28x, and wait, let me just take a look over here. I'm sorry, there was a minus over here, so it's supposed to be minus, and this is also supposed to be a minus. So if I put it over there, it's gonna be minus 7 times 4x minus 10. Alright, so that gives me plus 70, which gives me minus 8x. Minus 8x plus 50. Sorry. My god. Plus 50 over 28. And I'm going to further simplify it to minus 4x plus 25 over 14. Next up is this ratio maths. These ratio maths are kind of annoying, but once you get the hangs of it, it starts to seem to be quite repetitive. So 12 games is 96 and 14 games is 98, right? So what we know is the ratio of its score in round 13 is to its score in round 14 is 2:3. So it's gonna be 13 and 14, we get 2:3 ratio. Also, the total score after round after round 12 is 12 times 96, because per game it's 96, and this gives me 1152, a score of 1152. Now next up, total after 14 rounds is equal to 14 times 98, 1372. What I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna subtract this with this, and this will be my score for the total after 14 rounds, right? total after 12 rounds, total after 14 rounds, and minusing it, we will get the total for round 13 and round 14. So since it's the 2:3 ratio, it's gonna be 3 by 5 times 220, and that is 132. Coming up next is um, I don't even remember what these are called. So yeah, let me start first. So at first, what I can see is this. This forms a complete 180 degrees. So 180 minus 113 is 67 degrees. So yeah, we know that just by the first look. So what I'm gonna write is angle BEF is equal to 180 minus 113, which is 67. Now what the reason is, angles in a straight line sum up to 180 degree. That's the first reason we're gonna give. Next up, we have angle oh, I can see this thing is also set at 67 degree because it's an, you know, all alternate angles. I mean, they're both parallel, so that's also 67. Angle AB one thing is angle. Cannot strip it. Sorry guys, I just had to, I'm back. So from what I can see here is that these two angles are equal to each other. So it's then what we will use is, we know that in a straight line 180 minus 94, let's say this is a straight line, so this is gonna be 180. The total angle is gonna be 180 degree, and the supplementary angle is 94 degrees. So we're gonna find out the 180 degree part. So angle BGE, angle BGE is equal to 180 minus 94, and this is 86 degrees. So what the reason for this is, angles in a straight line sum up to 90 degrees, just above. So this is 86, and I'm gonna try to find the angle of y. Our main objective is to find CBG. We need to find this is the x. So y plus 86 is 180, because it's a triangle, and angles in triangle sum up to 180. So this in turn will create 2y is equal to 180, and y is equal to 47, and this is the x. So x is 180 minus 47 minus 67, and that's my angle CBG. And the reasoning for this is angles in a straight line sum up to 180 degrees. 7 is 66 degrees. Indeed. 66. Alright, next. Oh man,